Leonhard Euler was arguably one of the greatest mathematicians ever, a Swiss genius whose ideas still pulse through modern mathematics, physics, and engineering. Born in 1707 in Basel, Switzerland, Euler grew up in a deeply intellectual household. His father was a pastor and early mentor, but it was a family friend, Johann Bernoulli, who recognized Euler's extraordinary talent and steered him fully into mathematics. At just 13, Euler enrolled at the University of Basel, and by his early 20s, he was off to St. Petersburg, Russia, joining the newly established Academy of Sciences. There, he threw himself into work. Functions, infinite series, calculus, number theory, geometry, and throughout his life he introduced notation and ideas we still take for granted. Fx for a function, e for the base of natural logarithms, s for summation, I for 1, and much more. Euler spent decades working first in Russia, then in Berlin under Frederick the Great, then back to St. Petersburg, despite travel, political changes, and severe eye ailments very early in life. Eventually, he lost one eye and later went fully blind. But amazingly, his productivity didn't falter. He dictated and stored in memory tremendous amounts of mathematical work. Among his many contributions, the Introductio in Analysin Infinitorum, in 1748, laid out analytic functions and infinite series in ways that shaped how we understand calculus. His Institutiones books on differential and integral calculus established methods for solving integrals and differential equations. In mechanics, he invented the equations that describe rigid body motion. In astronomy, he worked on lunar motion and the famous three-body problem. In number theory, he proved the formula for the sum of reciprocals of squares, Basel problem, worked on quadratic reciprocity, introduced Euler's characteristic in topology via VE plus F perf 2, and the famous identity E tras EP mons 1 tras 0, all examples of his flair for linking seemingly separate branches of math. Even today, whenever you see p, sums, exponentials, functions, series, or think about how planets move, you're touching parts of Euler's legacy. He died in 1783 in St. Petersburg after a lifetime of work. His collected writings span hundreds of books and papers, many published both during his life and posthumously, and they laid the mathematical foundations for centuries of progress in science. Please feel free to share if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel Atomic Gear for more scientific content.